So I am, see, this is what happens when you get to a certain age, guys. You kind of don't care about being an uncool tourist. I'm waiting for one of those fantastic buses to take me around Cadiz. I've explored all the mid a bit. I want to explore the outside now. And there behind me is the sea. Okay, so I got some time to shoot some videos for you because I'm waiting for this bus. Let's explore pulling all your money out of a property, and let's just take as an example. Now I want you to get your calculators out or your phone out with your calculators just so you can work it through with me, and I'll take a real live example. Right, this is one of my early properties. It was a little 2-bed house. I bought it for 85,000. So 85,000 if you write that down. I knew that it was worth 130 at the time once it was done up. How? I did about 45 pieces of research. So I did 20 solds looking at Mouse Price, Calmea Pro, Rightmove. These days Rightmove and Zoopla also shows some of the solds, but they don't actually show all of them. I looked at 20 on the market, so again Rightmove and Zoopla, and then I phoned 5 estate agents and just took their opinion. What do you think this is worth done up? So I was pretty sure it was worth about 130 before I bought it for 85. How did I buy it for 85? That's another story, but basically I bought it at auction. It was 8,000 to do up, and I kind of pretty much knew that already because I'd had the builders in to give me the established cost of doing the property up, so there was very little needing done to it. Okay, I bought the property. I had to put some money in. I want you to work this out. I bought it for 85,000 and I had to put 25% of 85,000 in. So what's that? I then had to put a number of fees, stamp duty, lawyers, costs, surveyor costs, mortgage application fees, etc., etc. I then did the £8,000 refurb. Great. I then went back to my same mortgage company. In this case, it happened to be Birmingham Midshires, but, not saying anything good or bad about them. It just was the one that I used. And I went, oh, somebody's waving at me. There we go. I wonder if you can see him in the van. I don't know if you saw him. I then went back to them and said, guys, I was really lucky. I put some tenants in and I showed signed ASTs. They're waving. Signed ASTs, and I showed bank statements with the tenancy money coming in. So everything was above board. They could see that this was a working house that was bringing in money. I then went back to the bank and said, guys, I got really lucky because I bought it discounted, but it's actually worth 130. And how can I prove that? Here is 45 pieces of research, 20 solds, 20 on the market, and 5 estate agent opinions. You then have to pay for a second surveyor to come out, and sure enough, the surveyor said, yes, we agree with Susanna. Here's an official RICS valuation report. It's worth 130. And again, I applied for 75% loan to value. So I got something like just over £95,000 out of the property. I think it was 96,250. But you do the maths. Tell me if I'm right on my maths very briefly. That isn't my bus. No, it's not. I'm waiting for those red tourist ones. So then 6 months later, they said, great, Suze, we're going to give you a further advance. So in total, they gave me lending of just about £96,000 on the property. The property that I bought for 85 and spent £8,000 renovating. That, in very simple terms, is how to pulled all my money out of buying the house and all the money out of renovating the house, and I left a couple of grand in, I think, by the time I paid all the fees. And that is the principle of buying discounted, renovating if you need to renovate, putting in tenants to show that it's a working, lettable house, going back to the bank within the period of time that they allow you. Some commercial banks let you go back straight away. Very often it's a 6-month wait. And then going back to them and saying, look, I want to have a mortgage of 75% loan to value. I can prove that the mortgage is higher, so can I now have 75%? So do you see, I bought it for 85, renovation 8, and actually had about a £96,000 mortgage. But it takes 6 months, which is why you have to cash flow it. I hope that's useful. I'll do more on these, and I want you to get your calculator out every time, just so you practice. Because once you know how to do this thing, fabulous. Oh, there's my bus. Come on, let's go touring around Cadiz.